Today we're going to be doing a bit of an audio upgrade here in the garage. I'm going to be installing some more speakers. Just one, which is kind of odd, but I'll explain. Firstly, I'll talk about what's already existing. This is my garage stereo system here, which is usually just used for use as a stereo. I'll be listening to music either on FM radio or Bluetooth. However, it's also my home theater, but it's not in my home, so garage theater. Which the operation does sort of get changed depending on which way I'm using it. I'll go over my speaker setup. I've got my front left and front right main speakers. Probably should get some bigger ones, but these are what I got. I got these, which I think are just hooked up as the surround front, left and right. Maybe they should be something else. Whatever, it works. And then my center. Like 90% of this was free to me, just given to me. And it's probably not the best, but it was free. And it works, sounds good enough for me. Then I've got these in-ceiling speakers as the surround rear. And then this subwoofer here. That's gonna need to leave before I can close that again. So that's all that's on if I'm just watching movies. But then if I'm just using it as just stereo for the garage, then I also have that zone 2 turned on, which can be turned off and turned on. I'll put that back to there you go. So that zone 2 currently just does 2 speakers, which are these two back here. So that won't be used if I'm watching movies. But if I'm just using it as stereo, those are also on. But I want to add to that zone 2. Those are ran off this separate little amplifier here. I think there was a way I could do it through here. You have this zone 2, but I couldn't get it to work. So this is just ran off this non-speaker level output. And yeah, my FM antenna is just a piece of drop ceiling hanger wire, and it works perfectly fine. This little thing seems to work all right. It was pretty cheap. I think it's only good for 300 watt output. And these speakers I have are 160 each, so we're not going to be able to push these speakers as hard as they are rated. But I only want to add one because, well, I don't really need 2 in the space I'm adding it. This whole place is already covered, except the bathroom. My washroom here has no stereo in it. I can't even crap in this thing anyways because the septic's not set up for that. But regardless, I still think the bathroom should have a speaker in it. So we're going to do that. Now, half the work is already done because in this wire mold... Actually, no, these wires aren't even in the wire mold. Never mind, ignore the wire mold. It serves no purpose here. Regardless, these wires were already ran up here because I was going to put these speakers in the ceiling as like my front surround, something. I don't remember what my idea was with this. Anyways, that's not happening. But they might reach the bathroom. You can see all the speaker wiring goes up. And I think it goes into that room. And then it comes out down. Yeah, it all comes out down here. So some of the stuff runs this way along the wall. These front surrounds and left, right, and center. And the rest comes from back there in that room. And then this is them at this end. So we're going to make one of them. Hopefully it doesn't matter to unbalance this and have more load on the one channel. It doesn't seem to. I already did a test. It seems to be fine. So I want to put one of these ceiling speakers in the bathroom. That was my long way of saying that. So the plan... I don't have a plan. Never mind. I'm going to figure it out as I go. Let's see how long these are if they even reach in the first place. I might have made them long enough to reach the back corners. So I mean, in that case, one of them should be long enough. I think one of these definitely does seem longer out here. Yeah, the one that hasn't had the end cut is certainly longer. So now, I'm just going to take this, and it's just going to follow around this data cable here. Should it be that close to it? I don't even know. Definitely shouldn't run through there with the power. Neither should the data have though. And that hasn't also caused any problems. But let's drill another hole. As if those ones and the HDMI don't run within 2 inches of power. But I'm gonna at least try and better myself from my past self. Don't make fun of my drill. Yes, I spray painted my chuck to try and make it better because this thing looked bad. I took this whole thing apart and greased it. My foreman was making fun of me at work. Said my drill sounds like a bag of bolts. And he wasn't wrong. His sounds way better. He's got the new generation one. My chuck looked like complete crap, but it's actually smoother. I took this whole thing apart. We'll get one of these spinny hole driller things. And we'll try our best to not put holes in this wire here. We're gonna have to go past it either way. We'll put this in the middle of the joist here. You guys probably can't even see anymore. Holy crap, that sounds awful. My ears just got unconsensual sound put into them. So now that we've created holiosis in this joist, we'll put this through. I think these speakers come with a template. Something down here. So here with my measurements, I'm basically going to be as close to winging it as I can without actually winging it. I'm going to put it right in here because I can't get the center of the room really anyways. So this is more close to the toilet and the sink where I'd be. So this is optimum sound. So that looks about center of the smoky, about center of the light. Oh my God, it's bright. So we're just going to put a couple lines in the ceiling. 37, what's half of 37? I don't know, 17 and a half? Right there. That's not frickin' center. Half of 37. Yeah, no, that's 18 and a half, isn't it? Nick figured out his basic grade 1 math skills. But come on, guys, give me a break. It's been a while since grade 1. And I made a circle. Surprised it didn't turn out to be a square. Or even a triangle. I'm learning my shapes today too, guys, so. We got a circle in the ceiling. Now, if this wasn't my own place, and there was consequences for my actions, I'd go take a look and make sure there's nothing right above that's going to be in the way. But this is my day off, and I don't want to work any more than I have to. I don't want to go in the attic, so we're just going to go for it. Today's hole maker of choice is going to be an oscillating saw, because it makes the worst noises out of them all. And is the less deadly when I run into those cables or pipes that I was too lazy to go look at. And let's go for it. I didn't even think of that. I should have checked if there was a joist over top, because I couldn't put the speaker in then. There isn't, but I just thought of that. Somebody didn't cut the hole too round, it doesn't come out. Get the hell out of there! And by the way, if this was a smoke detector, not a heat, it would be a very good idea to bag it off before you put all this dust in it. Holy crap, that's a good hole. Speaker probably doesn't even fit. All right, let's put this thing up. Try not to knock over this Lego Titanic. Guys, I need more hands. We'll try this. I'll film with my left hand. It should be up here somewhere. Is that it? That's not it. I'm in the wrong stud spacing, aren't I? It's probably over here. Second joist down. That's where we need to push it over. Yeah, I knew that. I was testing to make sure you guys knew. I never bothered moving it to a different stud spacing. I just reached my hand over and grabbed it. And there's actually enough length. This is going too good. Something's gonna go wrong here. All right, now we're gonna hook up the speaker. And don't let anyone tell you that speakers are hard to hook up. Because it does not get any easier than a speaker. You can even get the polarity wrong and it'll still work. Your phasing won't be right with the other ones, but it'll still make noise. Okay, we're gonna just try and score this with a big 8-gauge option. See how badly we can damage the wires inside. Not at all. They fine. Okay, and we'll do these little strippage. Now we need a Phillips screwdriver. Like, don't push your finger through the cone. They're often made of paper. This is kind of awkward, but these have these little push down things. The one that's red is positive. If you got white and black, white will be positive. You just push that in there, let it go, but actually make sure it's in there. And there you go. And we'll do the same thing over here. This is awkward. There we go. White and black, hookered upward. Get this fire alarm out of here so we don't get this cable under the feet. So when we go to tighten this, we'll stick the screwdriver in. Again, try not to put it through the cone. And when you start doing this, these will fold out and then they'll tighten down on the ceiling. Shut up, it actually fit too. Oh yeah, this selection on this thing, I don't know what it does. Yeah, like I said, that switch, don't know what it does. Anyways, there's a speaker in the ceiling. Hope you like it. Done with a Phillips. Now we got to find out which wire it is. There's only two here. It'd be really easy to do. But I'll show you some ways that you can figure it out. One way is a battery. Now don't hook it up to a freaking 12-volt battery or 24-volt battery. So you can take a little battery, a little AA here. That's all you're going to need. By the way, this little amplifier is rated for 2 to 8 ohms, and these speakers are 8 ohm speakers. Now speakers like this, when we're hooking up multiple, they're in parallel. So that takes your resistance of the speaker and takes it from 8 ohms. We've got 2 in parallel, so then that becomes 4 ohms. So we can try whichever one of these it is. These actually aren't stripped, and I don't think that's it. Hear that? Just a little bit of voltage to pop the speaker in and out. Now another way you can do it, which I'm just showing you for fun, is using a toner. Now toners can be used for more than just fighting the wire, because with speakers, they'll play that tone. Toners are cool. With like old analog phone systems too, you could listen to phone calls on them. That's not a toner, that's a decibel meter. It must be in here then. So there we go, toner's on. And we can hear on the wire here, it's on. And if we didn't know which wire, now, if you were to put the toner on the speaker, will play through the speaker. Now it's not very loud on this one, but PA speakers have transformers on the back that you can tap them up or down, whereas these don't. So they'll come through a lot louder on the PA speakers. See, here's a Telecore PA speaker. There's all your different taps. You get different wattages out of the taps. Anyways, let's continue with installing this. Now this isn't too awkward of a spot to show, but we're just gonna double up on these terminals here. Do a demo. I'll do just this zone 2, which I'll put to PC, and I'll keep the actual stereo at 0 volume. This isn't gonna be going for actual full sound because this doesn't really cover any of the low end here. I've got the bass dialed back because I don't need to be driving them extra hard and taking more wattage out of this thing when I've got an actual subwoofer which will cover the low end way better. Gotta find something actually decent. So that's 100% off here. This is where I keep this, not at 100%, because that's set to match this at 73. Which is usually as high as I want to go. See, the original speakers here, these are working. If we were to add the stereo, then we've got the rest of the speakers going, plus the big sub. But the real test is with the bathroom door shut. And that's great. We've actually still have sound in here. Anyway, it works. I just realized I forgot to put this foam piece in. Not actually sure if I care. Now that we know it works, I'll push the cover on, which is surprisingly hard with one hand. Surprisingly hard with even two hands. Okay, why is this the hardest part of this whole thing? There we go. Okay, this stupid grill's on. Oh, I just fell down the ladder. There was another step apparently. Well, there you go. There's the speaker installed. I think that's going to be it for this one. You guys probably don't want to see me put some tiles back. Not too interesting, so we're going to call this one good here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, questions, or video suggestions, feel free to leave those down in the comment section down below. And if you do enjoy the channel, make sure to subscribe. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for watching.